Hello. I am taking a break from this show next week, but stuff keeps happening. So what's up? Did you know they are making an Avatar movie? Like The Last Airbender, the good one. If you didn't, But we also already knew that, but now we have more details. It is now confirmed that this first of 3 Avatar movies will center around the original Boomerang squad and is going to have them be like 30? Like they're going to be aged up. Like they're going to be the same age as the original audience. So we're going to see them running around doing Avatar things, but now with back pain. Lauren Montgomery, who worked on the original show, will be directing it. So hopefully we don't have to worry about like just whack interpretation. And it's also being run by Avatar Studios, which is like the original like team that got back together, basically. This is not to be confused with the upcoming Netflix live action adaptation, which I don't have high hopes for. I won't accept. It'll be fun. It won't be fun. But maybe it will be. I am still holding out hope for a Kyoshi movie. I am not holding out hope for Florida. Disney is suing who sources tell me is the current governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Ron, apparently a governor DeSantis, has been picking fights with Disney because Disney has not been outright anti-gay. To be clear, Disney is not a good guy in this scenario. They are just still a corporation. But it's not currently profitable to be anti-gay. Possibly because the vast majority of people have realized that being anti-gay is stupid as hell. But anyway, Ron Stupid as Hell DeSantis has been picking fights with Disney because they are woke. And so now he's stirred up a legal battle because he hates the gays, I guess. Imagine hating the gays so much that you start a legal battle with one of the largest corporations in your state for no other reason than you hate the gays and they didn't agree with that. Nobody in this situation is a good guy. Disney is a piece of shit company and DeSantis is a literal fascist. The only people winning here are the lawyers on payroll, and everyone else, including the taxpayers of Florida, will be covering those bills. Very cool and good use of time. All of those tech layoffs that have been happening are totally done with. I just lied to you. 2 big old layoffs to talk about today. Dropbox is laying off 16% of their workforce, about 500 people. They announced as much via their blog post, which is all the rage these days. And at this point, I should remind you that every tech company under the sun has some cutesy name to refer to their employees as. And so Dropbox, in their blog post laying off 500 human beings, says that they'll be laying off 500 Dropboxers. It just sounds like a sex thing. I don't know. You may remember Clubhouse, keyword may. They were really popular for a hot second among a very specific cohort of people, and then immediately fell off. Clubhouse is like an audio-only social network system. And I mean, like, neat concept, but now they're laying off 50% of their staff. They are referring to it as a reset. Both of these companies are offering severance packages and like job placement services to the laid off employees, but like, all of these layoffs could have been absolutely avoided. And also a good portion of these layoffs are like just happening because they can. Tech CEOs are like, oh wow, everyone's laying off everyone. I'm going to do that too, and remind my employees who's the boss. It is very likely that we're going to see even more tech layoffs in the future, as Meta has said that they're not opposed to another round. And well, it's just all the rage these days. Have you heard the one about trans rights? They're human rights. State House Republicans in Montana are upset that a trans elected representative can speak. And so they're taking a page out of the Tennessee lawmaker playbook and have formally silenced her. They have literally voted to prevent her from being able to make arguments on the floor. They did so because before that, they informally barred her from being able to speak on the floor, and when her constituents found out about that and got upset and started to protest, the Republicans were like, I'm a decorum! Why are these people getting upset when I silence their elected officials? Weird how they don't just shut up and starve and kill themselves. And so Representative Zoe Zephyr is currently working from a hallway because she has been formally ordered to only be able to participate via the internet. This is, of course, part of a larger coordinated effort by Republicans nationwide to genocide trans people. They can't get away with writing laws to make black people's lives worse, and they can't talk about how much they hate the gays anymore because that's not popular. And so they have found another new group that they can just shit all over. Presumably, that is the only way they are able to reach climax. And so it is time to kink shame these fascists. Lightning round. Bam Margera has turned himself in after being on the run for a moment with a warrant out for his arrest for assault. Jerry Springer is dead at 79 due to pancreatic cancer. All of my homies hate cancer. A woman has pled guilty to murder in the 1990 killer clown case. It was a cold case in which she dressed up as a clown and murdered someone. And finally for today, there's a starvation cult in Kenya, and so far 90 people have been found dead and they're expecting to like a lot more to that. That's a lot. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Stuff Keeps Happening. Head to stuffkeepshappening.online for sources, bonus content, and one more time, I will be back on May 8th. I'm taking off next week just for a little bit of a break, but I'll see you in a week. My name is Endeavorance. Take care and be well.